we go. Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Wolf Wednesday. Hopefully everyone's doing great. We're live here at In Harmony with Nature, as always, every Wednesday. And it's
and once again, we've got rain possibly moving in, but we're used to that by now.
And hopefully you are too, so you'll hear the thunder roaring in the background, I'm sure, at some point.
And I interrupt you, I'm sorry. I'm sure you were getting ready to say volunteer Rob.
Yeah.
Volunteer Jane.
Yeah, as always, hopefully you guys know who we are by this point. You know, we're here today, again, show you a little bit different experience that we do here at In Harmony. We're going to show you a little bit of our feeding process, but in doing that, we wanted to give a huge shout out to Second Harvest Food Bank, without whom, we definitely...
the wolves would be very hungry.
There we go.
They'll be chewing on Rob's fingers.
So you have to apologize because we don't work for Second Harvest, so we're going to read a couple of stats here just to give you guys a little bit of background who Second Harvest are. We have linked them in this post, so if you guys ever wanted to check out Second Harvest, you can go there as well. But one of the stats here, so last year Second Harvest provided nearly 56 million meals to families, kids, and seniors in Central Florida. And what's not on there is how many wolves get fed. So, you know, one stat will have to get updated at some point in the future. But
and they cover 6 counties also. Yeah,
which is awesome. If you guys ever get an opportunity, if there's something like volunteer work that you guys want to participate in, phenomenal organization, beautiful facility, and you know, everyone that participates with Second Harvest, you know, it's awesome. It's really awesome.
They have a nice website where if anyone wanted to think about, if you're in the Central Florida area and you were interested in donating to them in some way or volunteering for them, they have a nice web page where they could look into that.
Absolutely. Is that feedhopenow.org? There we go.
Oh look, I'm getting a text come through live. It's my golf date.
Is anyone else ready to go golfing today?
Hey, I'm just glad in what we're getting ready to show you, I was going to be the person, since we're talking about food, I was going to give Singer and Crystal a little snack, but our illustrious pack leader, Kim Case.
Our fearless leader is going to be stepping in for the job.
Yeah, she's back on property just in time, and we'll probably let her go ahead. I think Singer's getting a little bit anxious. Let her feed, then maybe she can tell us a little bit about the types of food that they're fed.
Hi everybody. So I'm happy to be the guest Wolf Wednesday volunteer. And what I have are 2 chicken quarters, and this truly is just a snack. It's kind of like us having a protein bar. These guys are going to get just a little tidbit so you can see what it's like feeding some of our big canine friends. So it takes a little bit of practice and time to get used to feeding these guys because it's quick. And these are 2 of our more well-behaved animals as far as taking the food. But you can see that 1 chicken quarter, Singer is about done and it's gone. And so that was maybe 10 or 12 seconds. And he says, how about another, please? Now, Singer is a very good young man. And see, I just put my hand there. He knew the difference. It was no meat. But it's not something that we have an inexperienced volunteer do. It takes a long time to get used to the feeding routine. There's just a few of us who are the main feeders on property, and it takes a little bit of a knack because raw feeding, you need to know which type of bones you can use versus a cut bone. I just fed them a chicken quarter. That bone is encased wholly in the meat. It's in its natural form. It's safe to feed on a raw scale. Unlike what people think, you're not supposed to feed bones to canines, to their dogs. Well, dogs do just fine on a raw diet, and obviously wolves will thrive on a raw diet. And the bones that we do stay away from are something like a T-bone or a pork chop where we cut the bone out, because that's been cut by a butcher's blade. So the actual composition of the bone has been changed, and then its safety becomes a risk. Now, we all know that the wolves are much larger than dogs with their jaws. Their jaw strength is actually twice that of about 1400 psi versus like a German Shepherd of 700 or 800 psi. So close to twice the strength of a dog is what a pure wolf has. So their crushing capacity is pretty intense. Ribs, like a little slab of pork ribs, they'll be gone in about a minute or two. And we do like the larger bones to help them have some enrichment after they feed, because it's always fun to lay around and chew on a pork shoulder, you know. But these guys are very well fed, and that is, like you guys said, thanks to Second Harvest. And they actually eat every day, and they do have one day off where we fast, and then one day is a slightly smaller meal, which we call a snack. And it just helps to stimulate their system in a more natural method. We like to feed them a little bit more consistently as part of their enrichment program, because for a wolf or a wolf dog, it sure is an awesome part of the day when you get your big old slab of ribs or roast to gnaw on and pull apart. And it really keeps their teeth strong and healthy as well. But you have to be used to handling meat. You can't be a little bit of squeamish around meat and blood. Sometimes you're handling some interesting meat items like beef tongue, which is always kind of intriguing. And other times you're handling so obviously meat safety, food safety issues, you don't want to spread contaminants, so you have a big process for cleanup as well with decontamination and wipe down. And we'll come back around with Clorox wipes and wipe the areas that we feed in to make sure nothing grows or gets spread, and then wash our hands and whatnot. But it's a pretty interesting time because everybody knows it's feeding time. Now, these guys got away with a snack, so nobody else is carrying on right now. But a lot of times when that first meat bucket comes out, everybody starts running around and wanting their food first. And we do our best to keep them calm, but a wolf is a wolf is a wolf. And there are times when they just say, "Show me the meat," and it's a give and go. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of treat, seeing Singer and Crystal get their chicken quarter, and they'll be happy because Instagram comes up next, I believe, and they get to have another chicken quarter.
Yeah. So we'll wrap this up for everyone here, and give us 1 second as this rolls up. So here we go. Oops, going the wrong way. Oh, there we are. So we want to thank everyone for joining us, as always, for our Wolf Wednesday. Again, if you guys have any recommendations or suggestions or something you'd like to see that's here on property, always feel free to contact us. That's why we're here. We appreciate everything you guys do and following us. As always, we will ask you if you guys can like, share. If you want to donate button somewhere down there. I don't know where, but it'll be down there. And we will see you next week.
Yeah, I was trying to see who just joined us. I can't.
Attila, is that right?
We can't see, we can't read, but welcome.
There's a little bit of a glare on the phone, so I do apologize about that. But we do thank you guys as always, and we will see you next week.
Bye,
Have a good one. Thank you, Second Harvest.